Coach, welcome back. Jen Mountain. I'm working with the West Coast Conference today, but we'll also be calling some of your games or broadcasts throughout the season. Let's just get started here. Let's talk about this group. You guys come off a 21 season from last year, second year as an affiliate member into the West Coast Conference, a program that is continuing to rise and get better. How do you feel about this group right now leading into the season?
Really excited. I mean, I'm sure everybody is saying the same things, but it's a real different feel in our gym right now. I didn't know it at the time a year ago, but just not the same vibe as we have now, and may or may not have been part of, people leaving our program. I don't know. I want to stop talking about that group and that year, and even winning 21. I do think I'm just so proud of the players that came back into our program. I'm proud of the effort and the work that they've put in over the summer. I think our entire roster has really, really improved their individual skills, and they're just getting in shape and doing everything we asked them to do this summer. And really excited about the young players and the new players we've brought into our program. It feels like everybody's happy to be there. Everybody's for each other. It's really, really competitive, and people really want to win. And so I think with that kind of vibe in the gym, I think we can do a lot with this team.
You talk about the off season is always so important. What were the coaches' off season, priorities, things that you guys are trying to look to address? And then just kind of talk about this preseason and some of the strengths that you really like and what's to look forward to.
Well, I mean, how we do things is always the same. We always send our players home with an individual workout book that we think meets what they need to work on over the summer. They have 6 weeks at home. Some of them played on national teams or trained with national teams or age group national teams. And we didn't get to have them over the summer, but they still got a book. And when they had time, we had certain things we wanted them to work on, and just thrilled that they did, and they did the work, and they were also playing in high and elite competitions. So it was a win-win for both groups. The ones that stayed, like Alex and Ken's Chatfield, who came in from Western Kentucky, to about 5 of our players that played on national team things all summer. So the summer was great. It was an unbelievable summer. And then we got our group back together, and the thing that we've worked on so much is just, they're happy people, they're happy kids, they're happy to walk into the gym every day. They want extra workouts. They want to win. They're competitive. So it's just been fun to manage that and figure out what we need to do to be successful on the court. And what are we? Well, I think we're 11 deep. I have 11 players I can play, and I think all of them can play. We're physical. We're long. I think we're going to shoot the ball better. Obviously, we have dominating post presence and a shot blocker. I think we can be a better defensive team. So again, I think the talent is in our gym that will allow us to compete at the highest level of this conference.
We'll go Jamie and then Jack.
Coach, just kind of when you look at the offseason and kind of what you guys are trying to work on, what was kind of the biggest priorities?
Well, I think, we only had 4 or 5 on campus, Jamie. And so, we just put them in a lot of the stuff and how we want to play, and then a lot of individual workouts. Again, we wanted them individually to feel like their skills were getting better and they could work on things. Alex is an example of someone that just needs to continue to stretch her range. Did a lot of that, but also just shoring up her post moves, getting her a little bit more explosive. Her, the commitment in the weight room, all of those things just stay the course through the summer. And then just getting buy-in and getting kids to know each other. Again, when we only have 4 or 5 on campus, that was pretty easy. They did everything together and got to know each other. But it's been a lot of fun bringing everybody in as a group of 11 and watching how it feels like they're just all a bunch of sisters and do everything together. And again, they're just completely and totally bought into trying to help us win this year.
We know just from past experience, an easy schedule in the non-conference is not in your DNA. And again, you look at this year and you've got a handful of Power Four teams. You got Oregon and Stanford, of course, at home, along with Texas Tech. Just kind of what are you looking forward to about the challenges of those games and how they maybe can prepare you for a run in the WCC and a chance to win that league?
Well, I mean, start with Idaho. They're revamped and have great talent. UNLV is going to be ranked probably number one in their league. I mean, it's just unbelievable what we've put in front of these players. But just feel like this team wants that kind of competition, and they want to see how they do against the best teams in the country. I think their aspirations to, not only win those games, but to eventually and grow us into a top 25, top 20 team that can compete with anybody in the country. So, I don't think we're there yet, clearly. But I think we have, competitive players and people that want to challenge themselves at the highest level. And so we'll live with that. And we may take some hits, but I think we're going to be a really tough and competitive team when we get to the conference and certainly the conference tournament.
For either Alex or Ellie or both you guys, what were kind of maybe the things you individually tried to work on? And then how have you guys kind of tried to take on leadership roles as the two longest standing players on the team?
I know for me this offseason, I definitely tried to work on expanding my range to the 3-point line, just continuing to be able to hit those shots, and then down low, just continuing to be strong and be more explosive, like Coach E said.
And for me, back home, I try to work with improving my shooting off of the dribble, but also just keep shooting in the mid range and just coming off the ball screen and taking the shot, which it will be good for me to improve.
And Coach, for you, it seems every year you've been here, someone pops up almost off the radar a little bit, kind of as you start the season. Who are kind of the candidates to be kind of the player that maybe fans don't know now, but give it a few weeks, a couple months, and they'll be quite familiar with?
Well, I think Ken's from Western Kentucky transfer, comes in as a junior. She's going to start for us at the point guard spot. She's just competitive and wants to do anything to help us win. She'll push the ball. She wants to throw it ahead. She wants to get us easy baskets. I like her disposition and just willingness to be a pass first point guard. So she gives us great stability there. And then the kid from Slovenia, Tanya, I just think she brings some unique skills to our team and almost character traits, like her celebrations and her wanting our teammates to succeed, and her feel for the game. I mean, she really steps. She's going to be a great player for us, but she's not going to be a ball dominant player. She doesn't have to have the ball in her hands to make an impact, and that's kind of what you need a lot, I think, on a team that has a lot of weapons. And so I think she's a second player. Those two players, I think, are going to be the ones that step into that role, Jamie.
Let's go, Jack.
Morning, y'all. Jack Wallace, 4 News Now. Just wanted to ask about starting off this season with not very many starters returning. I know that's become pretty commonplace in college basketball, but what's the most challenging and rewarding part to coming in with a lot of new faces on the team, and how the returners can kind of mesh with the newer players well, especially with the team losing Tara and her impact now gone and having to kind of replace that too?
Well, I think that, it was unfortunate that we lost a lot of players, especially like Tara, who was such a great leader on the team, but we have so many new incomers that are going to make such a big difference. The freshmen are all so uniquely special, and they all bring something amazing to this team. Kenzie, she's a great leader on the court. She initiates offense. Lauren, she was here her freshman year. Just so many great things to say about all the new people on this team, and I have full confidence in us that we're going to have amazing team chemistry throughout the year and that we're going to do really well.
We'll go Andrew, then John.
Hey guys, Andrew from Creme 2 in Spokane. For Alex and LA, they've kind of talked about it a few times, but with all the new players, I mean, it's basically you guys and Shasha who had the lion's share of minutes last year. How have you three kind of helped, ingrain what it means to be a Coug into these new players? And is it group chats, and how have you kind of like worked throughout the summer and off season to help assimilate everybody into what being a Coug means?
I mean, during summer especially, we had so many like group chat or Snap like group in which we kept like each other update, and we constantly like text each other just to let us like each other know how things were going, our workout, and sending like each other picture while we were like working out and just catching up. And once we were all like back in campus, it was way easier because you hang out all the time, not just on the court, but also off the court, just to do like the bonding team. And it feels really good. Like on the court, you can feel that the vibes are really great, and like just the team chemistry is awesome.
And coach, for you, I guess just looking at the size across the board on this team, was that something that was a big, proponent of what you guys were looking for when you recruited this offseason, bringing in that size and maybe some help for Alex as well?
Well, obviously we signed Malia Rude from, the Tri-Cities area early. She's a great compliment to Alex. She does some things Alex doesn't like to do, and Alex does some things that Malia can't do. So it's kind of a good two-headed monster there. The wings that we have, the forwards that we have are just super versatile. They can pretty much all shoot it. We can post up big guards. We can play small if we have to. We could play really big if we had to. So just want basketball players, want good feel basketball players. Signed Tanya late, and she signed with us from Slovenia that she didn't even visit. We just were kind of been recruiting her, and she was like, this is it. So, just getting really special players that buy into, don't have an agenda, except they want to be a part of something big and something bigger than themselves. And I love the fact that it doesn't feel like the only agenda anyone has in our gym right now is just, what do I need to do to help us win? And it's a great feel.
We'll go John.
John Titel from Hoops HD. I have one for Coach and one for the players. For Coach, this season marks the 40th anniversary of your 1986 title as a player at Texas. So what's your fondest memory of becoming the first undefeated champ in women's history?
Well, I want these guys to feel what it's like just to do something special with people you grew up with. And, the disappointment of the year before when we lost a buzzer beater, when we should have maybe potentially won a championship that junior year, to just that off season and how difficult that was for all of us to stomach having lost. And then that fourth year with all those guys that we grew up together, we had like 8 seniors on that team. And it was just such a determined group that we were not going to not just lose that's ultimately what happened, but just, we were not going to give in to, being less than we were capable of. So the best feeling that you have is doing something that you love with people that you love, and doing some great things that you could never do alone. And that's what that entire season felt like. And I just loved the fact that I could do it with, for Coach Conrad and that staff and with those teammates.
And for either or both players, I was looking at your schedule. You play at Penn on December 19th at 11 a.m. Eastern time. So I was curious if you've ever played a game at 8 a.m. Pacific time, and are you usually awake or asleep on a Friday morning at 8 a.m. Pacific time?
That's an easy one.
Yeah, you got it.
Like, I don't know what's like, I feel like I always adjust to like different times. So for me, it's not a big issue, I would say. And
What time do we practice?
like we practice at 5, so like
Well.
no, but like we woke up at 5 to go to
Yeah.
practice, and usually practice start at 6:45. So I don't think it's gonna be a big issue for us. Like we kind of get used to it now.
We're excited to have that kids day. Obviously we'd love to get people in the stands, and our regular fans probably won't like that game, but I think it'll be great for our players.
Sam, you're good.
Sam Taylor, Lewiston Tribune. Alex in LA. I guess maybe when you look at this season, what are you most nervous about, less excited about, and just how excited are you to to finally get another season going?
Nervous? I don't really know if there's anything like that's on my mind that I'm like super nervous about. I just really hope that we perform well this season, and I have full confidence that we will. Something that I'm really excited about is just playing with a new group of girls. We all have really great chemistry and we all love each other, love playing with each other, so it's gonna be fun.
Yeah, I would say the same thing. I just can't wait to start playing because I really think that we are in a good spot, and I love playing with these teammates because every one of them is so committed and passionate about like playing with each other. So I can just wait to step on the court with them.
And coach, obviously your whole team went through the West Coast Conference block. Your staff did last year. Now that's the second time around the block for this schedule, and you got some, of course, familiar non-conference opponents. What excites you about the schedule ahead and the chance to again, play Stanford and Oregon and all those guys?
Well, clearly we had a schedule last year where a lot of these teams were on the road. So in the contract, it's a home and home. So we get these guys back at our place. What a great challenge, and what a great, just figure out who you are. How can we be successful? Play against some of the best teams in the country on the road, at home, and find a way to be best in March. And, whether we win or lose some of these games, or I still think this team has so much further to go. And this is why we put them in these positions. They want to play against the best. They want to compete. They're not afraid of failing or losing, because I think they understand this is a long process. And we want to be able to be competing for a championship in March, and West Coast Conference championship, and finding a way to get into the postseason play and NCAA tournament.